Hello and welcome to episode 60 of Speak Free with MattyG. I'm joined here today with the boys from FKD Worldwide. We've got Cam and Eli in. Welcome, boys. We're going to obviously talk today about FKD, sort of where that's come from, what it is, what you've already achieved, and your plans for the future. But I also want to go back to the start for both of you and how you got into music to begin with. So if you both just want to tell me sort of your journey with music in that aspect.
100%. Ed, do you want to go first?
Sure, man.
Go for it.
Sort of grew up, always had music on around the house. You know, dad and mum loved it. And so I sort of just went naturally towards it. When it started drums, in the early parts of primary school, and then slowly moved on, picked up a bit of keyboard and piano, and eventually found my way into electronic production. And yeah,
that's is your family like musical as well?
yeah. Dad's played guitar for 40 years.
Yeah,
Dad's a gun.
Dad's a gun. Sister's a beautiful singer. Mum's got some pipes too.
It's so like it really it's passed down
100%.
because none of my family is musically talented at all, and likewise I am not either. But yeah, I feel like because like how often does that happen? Like you see like so many like famous artists have like they're like their mum's a fucking music teacher or like a composer or they're
100%.
something along those lines. So that was from what age were you when you started playing drums?
Probably like
Was it year 3?
Yeah, year 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And just went like in the school band, behind this guy actually for a while until he left school finally, and then and then picked up the piano, and now I'm producing music and love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a similar?
Yeah.
Sort of,
So it's funny because Eli and our stories are so similar. But so obviously mum, and Eli would know this, mum is the music one in our family. My dad knows music, as in like knows what awesome music is and like has really good taste in music. But sorry, Dad, is not talented in music whatsoever. But my mum is like multi-instruments. She was she's a primary school teacher now, but she was a music teacher like for before I was born and after I was like for most of my childhood. And then I started with guitar, didn't like it. Then went to piano, didn't like it, but I was always really good at reading music and sheet music. And then, found drums, and literally drums has been my life ever since. And then from that went into DJing and producing and stuff as well. So yeah, very, very similar, both of us in the same thing. But yeah, it's weird. We're both the same, all through primary school.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. Do you think like if you guys chose a different instrument, you would have gone down like the DJ route? Like
maybe not. I reckon
together?
Yeah.
Or
like just in general, like do you reckon, because like if you say you
true.
fucking like mastered piano or something, do you reckon you'd stay like more like classical sort of music rather than like fucking, but I guess like piano then you've got keyboard and like that's all linked in with electronic too, so yeah.
I think
sort of a natural progression.
I think it was meant to happen that way, drums, because like Eli's 2 years below me, so he's my little brother's best mate before he's my best mate and business partner.
Stole him.
Yeah, legit. But yeah, like I started playing in year 2, and then I was the drummer in the band. And when Eli was old enough, so it's like you start in year 2 or 3 for music, like the school would do. They wouldn't offer it for like kindergarten, year 1 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I started in year 2, but I was supposed to start year 3, but they made like an exception because I was quite good, and my mum was a teacher, so they let me in. And then Eli come through, and literally like after I left primary school and went to high school, it was my role. It was so cool. Literally we had the same live just 2 years after.
Yeah, that's dope. It was meant to be then.
100%.
Yeah. So then how long after sort of school did you guys start getting into like music production, or was it while you were still at school?
Yeah, Eli would remember, I was in a band for ages throughout high school, and I kind of kept music as a secondary thing. And this is another thing same with Eli. We're both football players, both goalkeepers. And so like that was for me at the time like the main priority, and then music was always secondary, but I always loved it. But like none of my friend group was the music guys, it was just me. So I was in a band, and then I think it was like right around year 11 when the band started to split. That's when I started to explore. I was like, I really want to do music. Like I don't know where I'm going to go with it. So I was always scared of like drums is what I knew, so I wanted to stay with that. But I reckon it was always in my mind that I wanted to do something with like what we're doing now. I just didn't know exactly what it was. So I started kind of making music. I was composing on like Note Flight, which is, did you ever use that in school, Note Flight?
Never. No.
There was like the
Sound Lab or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think Note Flight was before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Note Flight was like
This
this.
is like some amateur.
Yeah, it was, bro. It was
Yeah.
like, it was a music notation software. So it was
Okay.
like, you know, like sheet music. It wasn't any electronic. You literally did it to like compose pieces for like Les Mis or something like that. So I started doing on that, and then I realized you could go in and do drums. And I thought it was like you couldn't do drums. I was like, oh, dude, I know this off by heart. So I started making beats, just drum beats on that.
Yeah,
But there was
man.
this one string sound that kind of sounded like a synth. So my first beats was literally acoustic drums in a hip hop pattern with like this synth over the top that was actually a string, but it just sounded so high pitched that it was like a synth and it had this analog texture to it. So that's once I saw that you could do that, that's when I started exploring it. But then, yeah, I think, and then right when I got into year 12, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it to produce. I kept it so low. No one knew except Jordan, Gurn, and Drew and Jackson Lance. And they didn't even go to school with me. They were like two of my best mates outside of school. So they were the only ones that knew I wanted to do music. And then started getting on FL and everything like that. And then when I finished high school, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a music producer. And then I found out this guy was doing the same thing.
Yeah, it was like I remember going over to your house.
I remember the day specifically. I literally remember the day. It
I
happened.
had like in music class, I sort of like played around with it, and I started watching YouTube videos before I actually started doing it. And so by the time I downloaded FL Studio, like I had an idea of sort of how to use it, and
Yeah.
just started just cranking it out. Like it's so experimental as well, which is so good. And then
Well, that's what's cool about music
yeah.
too, isn't it? Is that like literally anything can be a fucking song. you
100%.
know, Like, and I don't know, like I mean, that's, I guess that's debatable depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Some people think like, no, it has to be a certain way or whatever the
100%.
fuck.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with that. I think anything can doesn't, to me, like it doesn't even have to be a fucking like, first verse, bridge, chorus,
Yeah.
like set up.
If it
like
sounds,
it can be,
I believe if
yeah.
it sounds good, it
Yeah.
sounds good, right? Like,
100%. Like, and I feel like music for a lot of people is like what it makes them feel. Do you know what I mean? I think that's like the most
100%.
important thing. And like you look at someone like, Fred again, like when he released like, what's the COVID song?
oh, the lockdown. I can't. What were the albums called? The blue one, the red one.
what Adore You? No, before that.
Yeah, he was releasing.
Dancing, whatever.
We lost dancing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
And it's like that song during COVID, like that like blew him the fuck up. And it was like, obviously it's a good song and it's groovy, but like it just captured how everyone sort of felt at the time,
100%.
And same with like Oliver Anthony when he fucking released that Rich Man North of Richmond song, like totally different genre obviously, but that like captured what everyone was like feeling, like fuck the government at the time, and then he blew up like 250 million views on YouTube. Crazy. But I think like that's just like such an important part of music. And that's what's cool about being experimental with it, because like obviously you're getting a feel for what you fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, and if you get that, like, then
100%,
other
yeah.
people probably will fuck with it too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think.
Or they won't. But
Yeah, I think Eli and I though were probably the first. Oh, I was definitely like the first in. Not that there's a competition or anything, but like I think we were the first, even without playing music, before we actually were doing anything proper. Like obviously we're playing drums stuff like that. I think we were like, some of the conversations I had with Eli early on was about this rapper or this music thing before we even were really trying to do music. So I think we've always had that love for most. We're more just than just a listener. Like we actually did follow those people and everything like that. And I think it was like, that's also what part of it is. There was something that drew us to be more than just a guy that liked to listen to music. You know what I mean? I think that was that played a lot in it as well.
And I think to have that drive, like, there's actually like there was a study put out that athletes, and I'm sure it's sort of the same for musicians or creatives in general, but athletes have a higher chance of becoming super successful if they also have a drive to be famous. Like, it's a weird thing. Like, maybe not even a drive, but like a drive to be well known for what they do,
Yeah, okay.
And because that's like, that's like part of it. I don't know. I'll have to find the study because like I'm not just talking shit. I definitely have read this, but it's interesting because like I feel like when you can like envision something greater in your life, it doesn't have to be about fame itself, right? But being like at the top of the game in whatever you do, obviously like being well known comes with that.
Of
you
course, yeah.
In sort of anything you do, especially creatively, because like you have an audience.
Mm-mm.
But was that like an impact for you? Were you just looking at people and going like, "Fuck, I want to do that. Like I want that to be me. I want to be on that stage at that festival, or I want to do this, or I want to." Was that ever an impact for you guys?
I think it played a part, but it wasn't the main reason why. I genuinely like. We're drummers, right? So at heart, we're like if we're tradesmen, we're drummers by trade, right? Like so.
Yeah.
I think, but the drummer's the guy at the back. Like, you know what I mean? He's the guy behind everyone. So, like, I don't think it was more the fame of being the front guy, the one that everyone sees. I think we just both wanted to do, like, I'll let him speak for himself, but I think for me, it was more just I wanted to be able to do something because I genuinely loved it so much. And there was a part of me that, for some reason, no matter how much I wanted to not do it, but like I was like, no, I want to be a footballer, or I want to be, you know, a filmer, or I want to be a skater, something like that. I think that music thing didn't feel so forced. Like that was the thing that coming naturally. Do you know what I mean? I was enjoying it more. I was better at it than anything I ever than anything else. Like I'm way better at music than I was at football or skating or anything like that. And I'd say probably Eli is the exact same too. But like it just came so naturally, and I think that also was calling you back. So when you do see those big, we definitely look at people on stage and go, oh, we make jokes all the time. Oh yeah, we're gonna play when we're at Coachella, we'll do this song. But I don't think that was the main reason why we wanted to do it. I genuinely think it was something that was calling to us. Yeah. Sure. But yeah, I think Eli's probably similar.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I think it's like with the footy point and stuff, like you don't, when you're 7 years old, you're dreaming of, oh, I want to play for the Panthers. You're not thinking, oh, I want like a $1 million contract for 10 years. Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So when you first start out, you're just sort of just thinking about, you know, just getting your ideas out and just like loving it as much as you can. And then it hasn't been till recently where you're sort of like, wow, like now it's like you get closer to playing on a bigger stage and in front of.
I think we're thinking about that fame aspect more now because it's not kind of happening, but we're kind of like getting to where other people that we watch were before they were. So we're kind of like, oh, that could be us very soon because they were doing this 4 years ago before they played at, say, Coachella or Rolling Loud or whatever. And we're now doing that now. So it's like, is that on the cards for us? But I don't think, especially when we both started music, I don't think that was the main thing. Because producers first, no one knows you. Like your name's not on the beat unless you're Metro Boomin or someone like that. The only time they can see that who's done the beat is if they hear the tag on the beat or if you go to the credits and see that. So I think it was just doing music was what we wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess I didn't mean for that to come across.
Oh no. I know what you meant because I think if you're a singer, 100%.
I just want to get my point like properly out. Is like, I don't think it is like it should not be the main drive for anyone in anything. But I feel like it's a normal thing to want once you start to have a little bit of it.
Yeah, what you said though is 100% right. I think for us it wasn't because we were drummers and we're the guys behind it. Yeah. But I think if we were, say, singers or like guitarists, people that were like the front men, 100%. Yeah, I know what I'm like inside 100%. If I was a singer and not a drummer, I would have 100% wanted to be like, fame.
Yeah.
100%. Because you're the one that's putting yourself out there in the front of everyone.
Yeah. With
in
your
the front of the band. Yeah. So I think, you're definitely right in saying that though. So I just think, mate, it wasn't for us. It was definitely there was a factor there, but it was not the main one. But yeah, no, you're 100% right. You weren't saying the wrong thing at all. No.
Yeah. FKD. Fear kills dreams.
That's
it stands for.
That's it.
Tell me the story about how that came about.
Yeah. I reckon I'll start it and then you go in. I think us being together as FKD started before we knew it, but we just weren't sure what it was going to be. And we never really, I don't think we ever really said when we first started together that, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to be a duo. Not at all.
Never.
No, but I think, the meaning of Fear Kills Dreams for us started way before we actually put a name to it. And I think once we started to, it sounds cliche, but once we started to, we definitely both had certain fears about, whatever our friend's going to think because we're the only guys doing it. And I think that's why the name Fear Kills Dreams came about, because there was that and an appearing where like, how far are we going to take this before we officialize something? Do you know what I mean? So what do you reckon? Like, when did that start?
It started, like we would send each other beats and well before, like we became a duo
100%.
and all that, but it never really came in until we sort of just like I feel like it just happened one day.
It happened one
It wasn't
day.
like a pinnacle moment. I think we
had an idea we spoke about.
and we made it, and we made a beat, and then we saw an opportunity, and we just took it off, and the next thing you know, we didn't think of a name. We were just like, well, let's just do this. Let's just focus on this, and then the name came after,
Yeah.
and it spoke to us both.
100%. I
So-
think
Yeah.
we became a duo before we knew we became a duo, because I still remember specifically the first day that I found out he was doing music properly, like aside from playing drums at school. He came over to my house, and I'd just moved into, like, my house had been renovated, and I'd just moved in. I was like just about to finish year 12. And yeah, it was just when I moved downstairs.
Yeah.
Had this terrible little desk I got from Office Works. I'd like, just about to go on schoolies, everything like that. And I had my laptop there, and I had no speakers, no nothing. And I had FL up, and I'm pretty sure Damo, my little brother, Eli was coming over to hang out with him. He walked downstairs, and you must have heard music, or I don't know from your perspective, but you seen FL on my computer. And he goes, "Oh, bro, I've got this too." And I remember this little light bulb, and I was like, "I'm not the only one doing this. This is sick. This is so good." So, do you remember that day?
100%. I
Yeah.
saw your little keyboard, like your
Yeah,
MIDI controller.
yeah. I had a little MIDI keyboard, and I think that was both. And then, so from that day, we both started talking about it a lot more, sending each other stuff, making stuff together. But it was still, I was Cam, he was Eli. There was nothing to say that we were a duo.
Yeah. And were you putting shit out at the time? Like
Separately.
but on
Separate.
SoundCloud and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, separately. Yeah. So I was working with my artists, he was working with his artists, and we were both supporting each other separately. Like, say he would put out a song with this person, and I'd be like, "Oh, yo, my brother Eli did this, like this is his song." And then I'd put out a song with like one of the guys I was working with, and he'd do the same thing. And then then we started doing a couple little collabs for those artists. But I think we kind of thought, I think because we're still so new to the whole thing, is we didn't really know that, yeah, you could do that. I thought you had to be bigger to be able to do that. Like, to be fair, our solo careers, they've been nothing compared to what we've done in the short time with FKD. Like we're more known as that than we are. Would you say so?
I think about that often.
Yeah, I do think about that
Well,
too. Yeah.
FKD, what you've done really well is like you've built like a culture behind the brand. Do you know what I mean? It's not just like a name. It's not just a band name. It's like an actual like. It's a fucking brand in itself.
You just hit the nail on the head with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is definitely what it is.
Yeah.
I believe that. Yeah,
And because like it's like to have like rowdiness and like that's what people crave. I feel like especially coming out of what everyone went through over the last fucking 4 years. I think everyone craved that like connection and like being together and partying. And I think like what you guys have done so far, I don't know what your plans are for the future, but like with like on the house and stuff, and obviously I haven't been to an event, but I've had mates who went and like
you'll be at the next one.
yeah, fuck yeah, 100% I will be. But like from what they've told me is that it's like it just what it says to me is it's all about culture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd say that was a big driving
a
force.
community as well.
Yeah, I think what has subconsciously, without us really trying for it, we've created something more behind it. And that was just from, I think, our natural passion for it.
Yeah.
I think that's why there is a lot more to then, because to be fair, when we started it, it was going to just be just putting out music, Like what we weren't really talking about events. And then that all just happened.
We can say it was.
Yeah.
We were planning on doing a
Yeah.
rap album.
We were doing a rap album.
Really?
Let's just
Like both of you rapping?
No. Producing. So because before we, no.
Come on, white boys.
No. So we've both been DJs for a while, but as producers, we weren't making like house music and techno music and electronic music. We were making rap music, which is
Yeah.
what most producers start doing, is making rap music,
Well,
right?
of course, because you can sell it so much
Exactly.
easier, right?
So when I was working with my artists and Eli was working with his, they were all rappers. We were all working with rappers, from whether they be from Australia, from the States, everything like that. And then he started to get some placements with some guys overseas. I started as well. And like I got a really big one. And from that, I was like, we can do this. Like we can really, really do this. Then Eli got a really good one. And we were like, let's do this. We kind of had the network now. And we met some really, really cool people along the way that 100% boosted us. And then, so that was kind of FKD, but at the start, FKD was going to be like like it was FKD was going to be like a producer duo, like if like Timbaland and like Mike Dean came together. That's what it was going to be, and they're like working with Travis Scott, all that kind of stuff. So we were actually making a rap album before that, and we got some fire music in the vault for that.
Yeah.
And the events thing came about. We were planning. Do you want to?
Oh, dude, I don't even know how it came.
So
about.
okay, we were going to do a listening party for the album. The album wasn't even done, right? But we'll get into the America stuff later, but we'd been to America. We were like, we'd started the album before we went to America. We were working on it, this and that. And then we're like, okay, when we release this album, we wanted to make it something really, really cool. Let's do a listening party. And then somehow we just started both going away from rap music, like literally. And then I don't know if it was someone said something like, oh, we should do like an event, this and that. So we're like, okay, we'll do a listening party for the album. Album wasn't even done. We kind of had, and then we're like, it was getting closer and everyone was wanting to do an event, and we kind of just spoke the event. We're like, we're doing an event. We had nothing planned for the event. And then we're like, well, we've got to do something. And so it ended up just turning into, we're now making house and techno music and basically doing boiler rooms. That's literally like, that was never the plan. What do you reckon? Like,
it happened very quickly.
It happened so quickly.
Yeah, like I remember we had a conversation about it one
100%.
night after soccer training. We were in the same soccer team, and we were like, what do we do? Like, what do we even call this thing?
Yeah.
And we just like come up with ideas, and
we were standing in the car park when we came up with the name for it, like for the name of the event. So we had FKD, we had the page, and we're like, what are we calling this event? And I'm pretty sure we'd said like 4 different names, and they were all terrible, but we were both like, oh yeah, it could work. Did I say On the House or you
said On the House?
All right, there's my claim to fame.
Well, that's a great
On the
name
House.
because it has 2 meanings, right?
It
So you
does.
have obviously,
3
like,
meanings.
3 meanings, yeah.
What's the third?
Oh, well, I think so. On the house drinks.
Yeah.
On the house, like a
House-
house party.
Yeah,
Oh,
house party. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
And
what
then-
the whole, yeah.
House party vibe,
and then
and
obviously
then-
house music.
yeah.
So the whole
Yeah.
the whole thing with making the event was we wanted to bring back the house party. So remember before COVID, and you're only a year, 2 years older than me.
Well, let's not talk about it.
Okay, so no, but you would remember before COVID because he was in COVID when he
Took
turned.
my age out of my bio
No,
on Instagram
no.
for a fucking reason, brother.
No, I didn't mean like that. But you were 18 before COVID, so was I. He wasn't. So
yeah, fuck that. For you.
so like you remember the way before the
I remember
OG
how
house
cunts
parties.
used to actually communicate. with
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
like actual house parties.
Remember that,
right?
guys?
Like actual house parties. So we wanted to bring.
Bro, I don't know. Sorry to cut you
Yeah,
off there,
yeah.
but I don't know what it was like in Penrith area. Like you're both from Penrith area.
Yeah,
right?
Penrith Lower Blue Mountains. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but the Hawkesbury, bro, because every cunt's on land out there.
No, dude, I've been to 2 out there. Best parties I've ever been to.
Wait, were they
Like Hawkesbury parties.
Were they Nadine Richards' party?
No. I went to this.
Because that
one-
was fucking wild, bro.
No, dude, I went to
that
this
was
one
like
party.
600 cunts.
We went to this party on a farm how do you say it's
Ebenezer.
We went to a party in Ebenezer. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
It was me.
on
You
the
would have
river.
seen that photo. Remember that photo of us all wearing neon? Like me, Ben, Byron, Luke.
Probably, yeah.
So Luke Cassivian's like cousin or someone, our friend, shout out Luke. He went to PAC with my mate Ben, and me and Byron went to Blackstone, and we were all mates and everything through football and just mates. And he goes, "Oh, we're going to this party. Do you guys want to come?" Driving out the middle of nowhere. I only know in Richmond because my dad worked there, and we go to this, bro. They had like helicopters and stuff at this party. Like it was this massive bit of land, and we weren't even graduated school yet. We were still in year 12. I'm pretty sure I told my mum I'd like done most of my HSC work, and I was just going out with the boys. I had barely done anything. I was like, this is awesome. I'd never been outside of this area. And dude, Richmond parties, like Richmond,
That's
Windsor.
so wild that you used to do it because we like. Yeah, I guess what reason would you have to come to the fucking Hawkesbury? You've got
Yeah.
everything here.
I know.
See,
that's what
whereas
I mean.
like we would have to come to Penrith to like go to the movies or
Yeah,
go
okay,
like to
yeah.
the bigger shops or like because we'd have fucking nothing. You know,
but that
still have fucking nothing.
but that was like the 2 parties that I went to out there. I went to one in Windsor and one there, and they were wild. But yeah, like we had some really good house parties, Lower Mountains ways. I know I definitely did. Your group would have had some.
We had
after.
some good ones coming up, but nothing like
Nothing
COVID
wild.
got in the way of like
Yeah.
the big 18s. and all
well,
that sort of
yeah. So you were like, did you turn 18 during that?
It was in year
thing. In
12.
lockdown, yeah.
yeah.
it was in
like
12.
2021.
Yep.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Worst
So the
time.
big lockdown, he was in
I
school.
really felt for you cunts at that time, because I'm like, that's something you never get back. Like,
No,
you don't
no.
ever get that back.
Not at all.
Like, it's so fucked.
Yeah.
For what? Sorry, I could go on a rant.
Yeah. No, like
The podcast actually started from like all this shit because I
Yeah.
kept getting banned on Facebook, and I was like, I need a way to say
yeah,
what I want to say
100%.
and put it out there.
100%.
And yeah, I try not to talk about COVID too much now, but
Yeah.
fuck, every time someone brings it up, I'm
You have a strong opinion about it.
Yeah.
like, oh, bro, very strong.
Yeah.
Trust me, I lost a lot of people
Oh no.
during COVID, and most of them are
Yeah.
still alive.
Yeah. I get you.
That's a Joe Rogan joke, by the way. I'll give him credit. I didn't steal it, guys.
But yeah, that's like the house party meeting. That was because I experienced that, and he experienced it a little bit. But there was that, and he knew what they were like, obviously, because I would tell him about it, and it was bringing it back. So yeah, on the house drinks, on the house music, and then obviously on the house party. So
yeah, that's fucking dope. And like, obviously, it well, from what I saw, like photos and shit, like it looked like that mad like house party vibe. You know, just everyone getting fucking loose.
Yeah. House party mixing with boiler room. That's what I reckon.
Well, and you know what? And it does like Aussie. I don't want to speak for the whole like Australia because Melbourne culture is pretty good actually, in terms of clubbing. But clubbing fucking in Sydney is so shit, so dog shit. Like, when are we gonna let cunts actually get fucked up? Like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, what's the problem, bro? Like,
I don't know.
every secchi fucking at every club, like, how many drinks you had tonight, mate? Like, fucking, I've had 7, cunt. What are you gonna do, cunt? Like, I'm still standing, you know what I mean? Like, unless they're stumbling and they're like proper fucked, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's just a weird culture. You go overseas and it's so fucking different. Like,
100%.
Like, even like Bali and that, they're like, fucking come in, cunt. Like, they don't care. Like,
it is definitely different in Melbourne, 100%.
yeah, well, Melbourne's cool because they have like their clubs. They don't have lockout laws, so their clubs stay open like from fucking Thursday to Sunday.
They have some wrong, but Melbourne's got its. I'd say Melbourne's pretty like the US in terms of like their, like the way that.
Never been out in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I've heard
you have to go out.
Well, my first time I went to the States was without him because he'd only just finished school. So I went over there. That was when we were doing rap music. But I went over there, and Byron and Ty, my 2 best mates that came with me, we experienced like the club scene over there, New York, LA, and that was wild. And then I've also been to Melbourne with Byron, and it was very similar in the sense of, okay, Melbourne was awesome, and then the States was just Melbourne but on a lot of steroids, and it was like really, really cool. Yeah.
And it's just sort of like, it makes me sad because Sydney used to be like the fucking premier like spot, like even before I was 18, like lockout laws I think they'd just come in when I turned 18. And I'm 27, by the way, if anyone wants to know my age.
Whoa.
Oh, you're old, cunt. But like, it just like, you look back at like, literally go on like YouTube, like do this, everyone at home too, and look at like videos of the cross during like the 90s.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, what the fuck? Like, it was wild.
Yeah.
And Sydney was like known for that internationally as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we both would have heard about that stuff from our parents and stuff like that.
like the big day out. That was huge.
Yeah.
Those apparently we used to have some really cool festivals in Sydney too.
Just a lot of our culture has been like eradicated. And anyway, the point I was originally making was that people, because when you turn 18 and you stop having these house parties and that, and you stop being able to just like be a loose fucking cunt, do you know what I mean? And just like make mistakes and be a dumb fuck, like, and just like, you know, like that's what being young's all about to me.
Yeah, you make mistakes and but you have fun.
But it's fun. Like, I don't regret a single fucking like dumb, stupid night out where I've like written myself off. I don't regret it.
Yeah,
like
it made you who you are. Yeah,
100%. It's experiences. Like it's memories. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And I think like now, like when you go out, fucking, especially like in the city, it's maybe a little bit different locally in that. But when you go out in the city, like you got to organize a way in there, then you got to organize a way home, and then you can't be too fucked up while you're in there, and then you're paying exorbitant amount for fucking drinks, and then like.
And there's track works.
Yeah.
Can't get home.
Yeah, didn't you experience that the other day when you went to the Ivy?
Yeah. They got to fix
You
that.
have to get the night. Right.
I got a bus from
from
the city to Granville.
To Granville.
Oh no, sorry. Granville to Penrith.
Which is a mission.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Doesn't make it. It's not worth it at the end of the day.
They make it's very hard to enjoy a night out, I'd say, these days. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you constantly got to be like, if you want to catch a train, you got to be like, fuck, we got to leave now. Like,
yeah.
And then by the time you get back on the train, you don't even want to kick on because it's so fucking long to get back to Western Sydney.
Well, I think all those things you've mentioned are so valid, and I think us not even we didn't set out to be like, wow, that's the problem, let's solve it with FKD. But I think like that's kind of why we keep it in the West, and we expand and everything like that, and we try and do them everywhere. But that was one of the things as well. It was for us, like being out here, same with you, obviously where you're from, we're not in the city. Like you're not in the city, we're not in the city. So it's very hard for us to be able to go, because a lot of those people can just walk home or get a light rail or get a taxi that's only going to cost them, say, $20.
Exactly.
As opposed to like 160 if you miss the train for us and for you. Because so I think that's one of the things as well, is why it's worked out so well, is we're bringing something back to here, and it's very easy for you to come to an FKD event and get home safe, have a good time, see your friends, socialize, and not have to worry about all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like not have to pay an exorbitant amount as well. Like it's easier on the pocket, it's easier on the mind, and I think it's just, and you still get to enjoy your time.
100%. And also to have a bit more like relaxed environment.
Yeah.
That you're not being watched all the fucking time by
Yeah.
some.
Obviously, like all of our, like we've got security and everything like
Of
that.
course.
But I know what you meant. I know what you're saying by that.
But you know what I mean? It's not the same as like that Sydney.
No,
like,
there's no like
like club vibe. Like, I don't know. I feel like they don't want to make money.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're for everyone and we're inclusive in that sense, but we're not like if you're doing something wrong, we're not just going to assume you're doing something.
Like if
wrong.
I was a club owner and the secky's kicking out some guy who keeps coming to the bar every fucking 5 minutes to buy another drink, I'd be like, "What are you doing, guys? Let him stay."
100%.
You know, because I don't know. I haven't been to Europe. I really want to go to Europe. But apparently over there, it's like fucking. It's like the more fucked up you are, they're like, "Yes, come in," because they know you're gonna keep spending. You know, and that's like their culture. And it's just I don't know. I feel like when you nanny state a place for so long, that's what causes the issues. Like in a way, do you know what I mean? Like
100%.
Like the amount of fucking laws and shit that we have here compared to other places around the world, and there's more problems here than there are places that allow things more freely. Like, I mean, it's cool that they're bringing in like pill testing and stuff now, which I'm a big advocate for. I think that's very like, it's good for young people.
It's woke.
Like, it's my only woke.
That's very woke of you.
I know it's my only woke view I've got, but it's just because like it's just reality, you know. Like kids are going to do that no matter what, so why not make it safe?
Yeah,
you know?
I think safety is a big thing that
and
we
the
should.
statistics speak for themselves. Like all the countries in Europe who did it from the like late 80s to through the 90s and that, Belgium and Amsterdam and fucking all these places, they've got like a much lower actual drug use rate.
Yeah.
And obviously a much like lower rate for overdose and death and fucking problems like that.
100%.
Because it's just I don't know. It's just this Australia's just fucking I don't know, a bit of a nanny state to be honest.
We're trying to change that.
But well, that's what that's the point I'm just trying to make, is that like that's why people would see your event and want to come, because it looks like an escape from that.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's an escape that's also safe.
Yeah.
As well. It's super safe. That's what I find. Yeah.
Yeah, I've probably not put a good.
No.
Everything I've said is not safe.
No. But you're talking about things that happen elsewhere, which is 100, and they're valid topics for sure. Yeah.
Not at FKD events.
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
None of that.
We're safe. Yeah. 100%.
So tell me about America when you guys went together. How long? So you already had gone.
I had gone
with your other mates.
I went because I had an opportunity to work in Atlanta, and I went, and
that's fucking dope.
It was awesome. It was really, really cool. I'd say for me that is the moment where I knew that I wanted to do something with him, even though he wasn't there. Because when I came back, he was like, "Yo, how was it?" And I was obviously texting him while I was there and everything, telling him, because I always wanted to. I think we started to do more stuff together, and so I took two of my best mates with me. They just did their own thing while I went to the studio, and then we had made like a holiday of it. And when I got back, I was like, "Dude, we're doing this." I think if there was any ever doubt of us doing it, that doubt was all taken away by the first trip that I went to America, and I came back, and I'm pretty sure I said to you, like, we're doing this full time, and we're going to go back to America 100%. And and so we went back, and that was your first time.
How long after did you go back when you got? So what year did you first go?
I went 2022. I was supposed to go in COVID 2021, but then obviously COVID came. Because that's when
this country.
Yeah, that's when I first got contacted to go, but then obviously I couldn't go. So I had the contacts already with the people, and I was gone 2022. Came back. We went at the end of 2023, so only a year. Or did we go?
At the start 2024, like
sorry. We went start of January 2024. But it was like when I came back, it was a full year. So from 2022, no, it was a little bit longer than a year. Sorry, a year and 2 months. So like 14 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And then that's when we went back. Yeah.
And how long did you guys go for?
Bit over a month.
Yeah.
Mad. And traveled like around the whole.
Not the whole. We just went to places that we had work. And and then the trip, we did not plan. We didn't. The trip, the way that it went, wasn't all to plan in a good way. Like we ended up in LA, and we weren't even going to go.
It sounds terrible. We had like the first half of the trip booked without the second half of the trip booked.
Yeah.
So we
literally
started in New York. We knew we were going to be in New York for 2 weeks, Atlanta for a week, and then
we were going to go to Miami.
we were going to go to Miami. We wanted to see like Travis Scott.
Yeah. We were like, dude, there's a concert on. Let's go.
And then we got an opportunity to go to LA, and it was honestly one of the best parts of the trip. Like
it made the trip
crazy.
And
10 times better than
and
what
it's the unplanned part, you know.
It
Like
was.
that's what's cool about it.
Well, we booked the flight the flight was booked, like got booked when we were in Atlanta with like 2 days left. So we weren't even know, like if that didn't get booked.
So did you go over there with no return flight?
No, we did.
you
Oh,
had
no,
a return.
we had a
So
return
you knew,
flight.
You knew when you
Yeah,
returned.
yeah.
You
We
just
knew
didn't
when we
know,
returned.
where
Yeah, because you
were
can
gonna
only
be.
go for 90 days.
Yeah,
on
and you
your- on
need a
your
return.
ESTA.
You need a return flight. Hey.
Yeah. If you're not on the
don't
if
have
you're not
one,
on the
they're like,
visa.
what are you doing?
Yeah, if you're not on the, because the first time I went, I got stopped. Not got stopped, but like you go through and they were like, "Oh, by the way, like, what are you here for?" I was like, "I'm here for music." And then they were like, "Whoa," like, and it was my first time, so I didn't know what I'd said actually had a lot more weight to it. They're like, "Oh, where's your working visa?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, no, like, I'm not like I'm going over here to do this." And then they're like, "Oh, okay," but they thought like, "Oh, I think they must have thought I was like a touring guy, like on a tour or something," even though I'm no one, but like. I was like, oh, okay. So then they were like, okay, yeah, you've done all the right paperwork. You've got an ESTA, and ESTA's like a 90-day visa that you're on. And that's what we were on, obviously, when we went. So, yeah, we could only have gone for 90 days. But, yeah, we did not plan the LA part of the trip. It was...
Yeah. We got YNG Marta.
Yeah,
the
shout out.
And YNG1, the two boys from Melbourne. They're absolutely killing it.
The best rapper
Best
in
dudes.
Australia. And the best
And
dudes,
we sort of, you know, pleaded a little bit. Like we were cool with them. We met them before, and
Yeah.
they were in LA. We're like, do you reckon we could crash at your Airbnb?
Yeah. Well, he posted that he was in he was going to San Fran, and we were watching Breaking Bad in our Atlanta accommodation, and I was like, dude, do we go meet up? And like Marta has been, like, since we've met him. Shout out to Kill Carter. We met Marta through Kill Carter, and those like Carter, YNG Marta, and YNG1. They've been like they've helped us so much. Like shout out to the boys. They're our brothers for life. They were some of the first 3 artists that really believed in us as a crew. And then so when we met Marta, we went to one of his shows. We were there with him, so we kind of knew him before. We knew him beforehand. And then he was like, "Yeah, dude, come." He's like, and then we'd never met Brody before, which is YNG1. We'd never met him before. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I won't be here." Because he was doing all this stuff because it was Grammys week. So we went at like the best time. Yeah, we went at Grammys week, and this is the craziest thing is we ended up getting into some Grammys pre-party, which was the crazy. Was it pre? Yeah, pre-party.
Yeah.
But it was like 2 days to go in Atlanta, and we're like, it was like, yeah, just come stay with us. Like, why not? Like, you're here, you're Australian, you're our brothers. Like, we're not gonna just let you like, oh no, sorry, man. So he sent us everything, the Airbnb, where they're saying the codes, everything. They had everything for us, and it was awesome. So they really treated us with that. Hey,
Yeah, that's mad. Was it a hectic crib?
Yeah, it was
It was nice. It was like
nice.
just an apartment.
It was like an apartment, yeah.
And yeah, we just explored LA. Like, got up to some bit of mischief.
Yeah, a bit of
Yeah.
mischief. We
Spill the
we-
fucking tea.
we did not
Underage mischief. I wasn't 21.
He wasn't 21.
Oh,
He wasn't 21.
true.
This is all allegedly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We-
Well, fuck.
Let's just say we
Trump's not going to put you in
No.
jail.
Let's say
Alright.
we barely let's just say we barely slept. We went to some crazy parties. We witnessed some crazy things, and we had some of the best studio sessions and made some of the best music ever.
Yeah.
That was
Fuck yeah.
so cool. Like,
Yeah, that's
and it
dope.
was in such a short. We were only there for like a week. Not
So did
even.
you go
Yeah,
out?
yeah.
Did you go out in LA?
Yeah,
yeah.
We went out. No way.
Yeah.
How'd you get in?
Dude,
Oh,
they don't.
man.
They don't check. They
Oh, they
don't-
don't give a
I'm
fuck.
telling you, they don't check. They do
Oh.
not check. If you've got an ID, if you have an ID, and it's from another country and it's in date, they do not care.
Yeah.
They no, they do.
Okay.
They do not care. Like just any. But I think it's obviously they're going to do their due diligence, and there is security, and there's still obviously because we'd see people get thrown out of even just like small
Yeah.
establishments. But yeah, if you have an ID, it's from another country, and it's like looks legit, they're just going to let you straight in. And yeah, it was. It was so. I was legal. I was 21.
That's right. You haven't really broken a law.
No,
I mean,
no.
you have, but
Allegedly.
Hey, it's enough
yeah,
my
it's
parents
all
don't
alleged,
know.
bro. Fuck. No, that's mad, but I mean, why not? Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah,
Fuck the law.
but no, it was awesome.
Yeah. What did you think of LA?
I was a big fan of New York first of
Yeah.
all, like because we landed there.
New
So that was
York. I'm walking.
I was
It was
raving
beautiful,
and ranting
dude.
to you about New York before you'd been
It
there.
was
Like
beautiful.
What time of year did you go? Oh, it was cold there.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was snowing in New York.
Freezing.
It was the
Yeah,
best.
that's mad.
I was raving and ranting to him about New York because when I went beforehand, I was like, dude, it's the best. We got to go for a long time here as well. And yeah, it was awesome.
What are some of the things you went and did in New York that's like touristy that people would like?
Touristy?
Like, what was the cool thing? Like, if to anyone that's going to New York, because I'm considering doing New York, Washington DC, and Baltimore
Yeah.
this November. Haven't booked anything yet.
Oh.
It'll be a last minute thing.
Okay, I think the coolest thing that sounds it sounds good to him, but it could be good to anyone. We went to this place called the Blue Note, and it was a jazz club, and it was
I've
the
actually heard of
coolest.
that.
It
I've
was
actually heard of that.
so New Yorkish. Like if you picture New York, it was the coolest thing. We watched this. What was the guy's name?
Oh my
Dude, he was
God.
amazing. I've got a video of it. I can't remember his name. It wasn't Teddy something.
Kenyon. Oh no.
Oh no! It was something like
Yeah,
that.
something like
I'll find it out later, and you could probably put it up on screen or whatever. But we went to this Blue Note. No, I'm just saying. We went to this
I'm not
place
gonna do that.
called. Yeah, oh, sorry, you guys are missing out now. But yeah, we went to this place called the Blue Note, and we watched this guy just shred on the trumpet for like 3 hours, and it was the coolest thing ever. Like had a full band, like the most like picture a jazz club that you'd see in a movie, like a Hollywood movie. That's where we went to, and it was the
Yeah.
coolest thing ever.
That's mad. It is very New Yorky. Hey,
Yeah.
Like you think of all like New York movies and like that's the sort of music you
Yeah.
fucking
We didn't
hear.
really have any like touristy things.
Like
Like
did 9/11?
yeah. So we
Yeah.
we did all that stuff, but we didn't go like, okay, we're going here at this time.
You're like Bush did it.
We just
Bush fucking did it.
that one of those that's really eye opening.
Ah.
You definitely, if you're going to go to America and you're going to New York, you've got to go there. We spent a whole day there. It was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I could spend fucking hours there. I'm like obsessed. Like that sounds weird. I'm obsessed with this terrorist attack. But I am like a fucking like because I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist. But the reality is like 3,000 people fucking lost their lives.
Yeah.
So, I could spend fucking
Yeah.
all day there.
I think with
Just take it in.
with New York, you kind of just got to play it by ear because I think like to really experience it, the coolest things was like going and getting a pizza slice from like
Yeah.
a family-owned restaurant
those,
that's like
traditional
$2
New
and it's
York-
like this big for a slice of pizza, and then like going to like the hot dogs. Remember we like
yeah, and like
street dogs.
Soho, just
Soho
walking
was,
around.
oh dude,
bro.
Soho was awesome.
Because you miss out on things if you're not looking up. Like
Yeah.
if you're in a tour guide, like
Yeah, you
you're
don't
not gonna
experience
Yeah.
see shit.
We like, dude, just seeing like this one guy, shout out Richie Rare.
Oh my god.
This guy called Richie Rare, like, bro, you're just walking in the street and there's like people that are like just doing something in the street. This guy called Richie Rare just started like rapping to us, but like about things that were going on around us. Like he was like picking apart our appearances and like, cause we told him we did music and he was just picking apart our appearances and everything like that. And then there was a guy like, he was like drawing as well and stuff like that. But he was just like, people would walk past and he'd be like, oh yeah, and the girl with the yada yada, and in a rap. And it was just like, just things like that you don't go to like, we went for like a coffee and cake at like that ice skating ring that you
Yeah.
see in like the Christmas movies in New York. Just like going to like doing those things was like
Yeah.
so cool. Like, and that was just in between like studio sessions and stuff like that. And we went to like that studio that we went to in New York, which was above, like overlooked all of Manhattan. That was
That's so fucking
they'd done
sick.
They'd done Biggie Smalls there.
Yeah.
They'd done
Holy
Whitney
shit.
Houston. They'd done ASAP Rocky. Like so many good artists had been there, and we were literally in that room, like cooking up, like making music every day, cooking up some of the best music ever.
That's mad.
Yeah,
That's so hectic.
Mm.
Like Biggie.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
They had
goat.
all the plaques on the
The
wall and stuff.
fucking
Yeah,
goat.
Mm.
it was called Quad Recording Studios. If you have a music guy, go there. It was
Yeah.
awesome. They was really
That's
nice
sick.
people to us. Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool, man. There's a lot of artists who go to New York to record.
Yeah.
Like that aren't from there.
yeah.
Lord recorded her latest album.
Oh
in
really?
New York.
Yeah.
There's actually one song in there. I think it's called Dominoes. You can actually hear the sirens. She
Oh.
like
Sick.
so if they had the door open from the studio, it was that loud because
Yeah.
of where it was situated that you could actually hear the traffic in that.
Yeah.
And obviously that would close it while they're recording. She was like, "Nah, leave it open for this."
Yeah.
And she left it open, and you can just hear it faintly in her mic,
Mm.
like
That's
the
awesome.
sounds of the siren. It's so cool. Like it's very subtle, but you
Yeah.
can hear it.
But that's just, yeah, it like New York, just being on like the subways and stuff like that, like experiencing like that we kind of just lived as if we were everyday New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And that was the really coolest thing
Well,
because
it's
like,
authentic then, eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Except Eli did leave me on the subway one night.
That's fucking dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
I had business to take care of.
So,
No, I'm not explaining that.
dude, he was on
I
directions.
think we
this-
can connect the dots.
he was on directions this one night. He was on directions and he had his phone out and he goes, all right, we're getting off at this stop. I said, no worries, cool.
We're putting fucking 2 and 2 together here.
Yeah. And we're getting off at this stop and he's like, I'll tell you when we're getting off. So I'm just on my phone. He's on his phone. And then I think like he said it was like 2 stops away. The subway pulls up, the doors open. As they're closing, he goes, oh wait, it's this station, and just runs off.
Oh,
And but
Without him?
Dude,
he
I
didn't
was
deliberately
close
run.
by
He
me.
didn't deliberately run off without me. He just went, but because he literally went as the doors were closing, I got there and my foot got caught in the door, and he was like, oh, and I was like, what? And then it just went off, and then
so did you just get off the next?
I had to get off
stop?
like but it didn't stop for like another 3 stops because it was like some express thing, and then so like we're on FaceTime. He's like, all right, I'm on this street because they're all like, 51st Street and everything
Yeah.
like that. So literally just walked to him through, and then we went and had Taco Bell. But yeah, and literally just walked to him through. But that's the thing, it's so easy there. Like, I think if that happened anywhere else, or maybe not anywhere else in the world, but I think if that happened somewhere else, you'd be like, oh, if you have that happen in Sydney, and you're getting off like to walk from like let's say one station to another, it's quite long. We just went, oh, he's on this street, this part, and then you could just walk straight, and we're there. Like it was so like that would just that's like I'm assuming that's an everyday New York thing. Sometimes missing your stop and having to walk back, like just experiencing stuff like that. Like it was, although it was a funny little thing.
Crackhead on the trains in the way, and you can't get off.
A fair few.
Oh,
A
there
fair
would be
few.
heaps.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters on the subways.
I mean, think of how many you see even in like Sydney. You know what I mean? So like New York is fucking obviously very dense population.
yeah, but there's so many different types of people in New York.
But the thing I like about the New York subway is like the buskers and shit. You see heaps of buskers.
Hey,
and like,
Buskers,
some of them are so
people,
fucking good.
kids selling candy. Like what I loved over there is everyone had like their hustle, like their way of trying to make it. And if it went from like the person busking with a violin to like dudes in a full mariachi band playing in the subway stations to like little kids selling candy, and like everyone was really respectful there. Everyone over there is so respectful.
Well, I think the big difference between America and here is that they don't have tall poppy syndrome. They actually really fuck with people trying to make it. They actually respect that. A lot of people are inspired by it rather than jealous of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even jealous. I don't know. People just in Australia, like they see someone trying to be successful and their first instinct is to cut them down. Try and cut them down, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like, yeah, America just has, everyone who's come out of America that's fucking super successful, Americans love them because it's like, well, fuck, they're putting us on the map.
Yeah. Yeah.
Australia, like we have some artist who goes fucking viral and whatever, or becomes number one in multiple countries, and we're like, fuck that bitch, like why?
Yeah.
Like why are we like that?
Yeah.
What? Because she left Australia and now she's living in or whatever the fuck. It's just such a weird like concept to me. But like it's even as little as like a team starts going well in footy, right? So then everyone starts fucking hating them.
Yeah.
No one hated Penrith fucking 6 years ago.
No.
You know what I mean? Like really, maybe me. Because Ivan had just left, I'm pretty sure, the Tigers. And I was like, fuck that cunt. But I actually have mad respect for Penrith. But like everyone now is like, fuck, they're like praying for their downfall. And I'm like, why do we do that? Like, why can't we just respect greatness? And like,
That's true. Yeah, we should just respect greatness.
That's the one thing that we loved in America.
100%.
So we, like, for example, in LA, like we were at this, we snuck into this Grammys party.
We shouldn't have been there.
Talking to people who worked with Kanye, Benson Boone's manager, like
Yeah, we met
and
Benson Boone's manager. We chatted him for ages.
explaining our story sort of thing, and they had the time of the day to actually like listen and like take
And
in
these
what we're
guys
saying.
work with like some of the biggest people in the world, and they sat there almost like in awe of what we do, and they were so happy to hear it, and they were so like supportive. They're like, "What's your Instagrams?" Like everything
that's
like that, and
mad.
it was really cool. Like, and
it's such a different culture, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy because we are so like Americanized in so many ways here, but like that go get it attitude and that like fuck yeah hustle grind like support like it's just I don't know it exists in like small pockets here for sure.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
2-7 Project's a great example. Like
100%.
everyone wants to see everyone win here, and that's cool. That's why I feel so like welcome here.
Yeah,
But I just think, America just has that. I don't know. It's ingrained in them. I think.
Yeah.
And more people are willing to try and put themselves out there. I think that's cool as well.
100%. I think some of the people we met, and some of the experiences over there really did give FKD its birth. Like it was there, it was brewing, and then that's honestly, without that trip, I don't think we'd be where we are today.
Yeah. Well, exactly, because you're in like the melting pot of people trying to, especially New York and that. Like everyone's like, that's, you know, it's not, it's a cliche, but it really is true. It's like, it's a place where you can fucking, like, if you can make it there, like,
Yeah.
you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
Alicia Keys,
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
dog.
Yeah. But yeah.
But it is true. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, LA is like, you know, a town of you know, aspiring actors and shit as well. Like,
Yeah.
and obviously the music scene was sort of there for a while. It's shifted more, I don't know, out of there now, I think, especially since it burned down.
Yeah, LA wildfire. Yeah, I hope everyone's all right there. Eh? That's
Yeah.
that's I think no, but like no, because there's people that like
No, I do.
yeah.
Like everyone that's like, you know, not a. No, I'm not even gonna say what I'm gonna say.
No, but I think that trip really did. We went there with half a plan and came back with the plan that we're currently been following for like, and it's going to take us to exactly where we dream of going, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would have felt so inspired
Yeah.
coming back from that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking dope, eh?
Yeah.
Where else did you go in America other than New York and LA?
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah. That's a different place. That was, you have to experience that. I think you'd, it's not really a
You
place for
don't.
tourists.
You
No,
don't.
you don't have to experience it. No. I think
Oh, you didn't like it?
Oh, I mean, it's
I'm grateful that we went.
yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, but yeah,
Grateful.
no, I think if you're looking to go on like a family holiday, probably not the best place to go. Like,
Is it dangerous?
Yeah, in the sense that it's dangerous. I think it's just a different. I think I don't really know. I still can't gauge that place, but I'm very grateful that we got the opportunity to go. We met some really cool people. We got to
Yeah.
go to a couple of NBA games, everything like that. So yeah, it's definitely different to. I don't think because it's like one of the. You think about America, you've got like the main cities. It's just like LA and New York, San Fran. There's a lot of obviously. They've got their
Yeah.
ups and downs as well, but they're like, you know, the main tourist places and same
Yeah,
with like
especially for Aussies. Yeah.
yeah. I think Atlanta's just it's very different. But yeah, that was cool. I think we got more done and we got more inspired from other places though. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Which is funny because we thought, I mean, that's where we did most of our work.
we did most of our work in Atlanta, which was funny. I think that's more a place you go to do your music work. It's a creative place for sure.
Yeah.
You go there if you're trying to create.
Yeah,
You
'cause a
wouldn't
lot
go
of
there
artists
for
are from
holiday.
like Atlanta, eh?
Nearly every rapper's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Nearly every
Yeah.
Gucci Mane, Future, Lil Baby, The Migos, Young Thug, all those guys.
Yeah, they all came up through that Atlanta scene, eh?
Yeah, which is honestly that played a massive part in our like we
Yeah.
love Atlanta for that because that's the music that we grew up on and loved. Yeah, 100%, and got us. That's why we started making 100% why I started making beats, listening to those artists and stuff like that for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. So take me through. So you've had how many events have you guys had now?
3
3.
Yep.
On the house.
on the house Halloween event in collaboration with Drink West, and then we had our Christmas Eve pop up
That's right.
Yep.
Yep. Fuck yeah. What's next?
on the house Volume 2. Bigger and better. What do you reckon, eh?
Much bigger, much better.
Much bigger, much better.
What have you got like a date sorted yet?
Not 100% locked in. We know it's coming very, very soon.
But
We'll-
around what time?
June.
June.
Yep.
All right. Fuck yeah.
June.
Winter, baby.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
go.
So it's
Code up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first event was absolutely amazing. The first event, like the first on the house event, that's our mainstay event. So that's our personal one that we do. The other two were like collaborations and like pop ups, if that makes sense. Which were awesome. Like don't get me wrong, they're awesome. But on the house is our own personal series.
Yeah. And that's like your baby.
That's
where it started from.
so where FKD is a music duo that releases music, but then FKD as a group also then runs its own event, which is on the house. So
Yeah.
Volume 1 was an absolute blast. I think that was probably the best moment we've had in our lives so far.
Honestly.
The best night, the best night ever. It was the best. And then the Drink West one, we had like a 2-week turnaround on that, to get that done.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Shout out to Bam Bam. I was sitting upstairs in this room and I was like, I told Eli, we weren't sure it was going to happen. And he goes, why don't we call it Hallow West? And I was like, yeah, it's a good idea. He goes, all right, sweet, sort it out. See you later. Just walked out. And then I called him. I was like, we just got the approval from Bam Bam. he wants to call it Halo West, and he was like, sweet, let's do it. And then he went on straight away, got the wristband sorted, everything like that. Yeah. And then, so that was like a quick 2-week turnaround. And that was a Halloween event. That was awesome.
Yeah, that's
and then
mad.
we did the Christmas Eve pop up under the bridge in Glenbrook, and that was pretty cool. That was a cool little one.
That was fun to do
That was
because
fun.
it was a bit of like I don't know, it was a bit of not a gimmick, but you know,
It was
like,
a tester. It wasn't trying to be
Yeah.
massive. It wasn't trying to be massive.
Yeah,
but
just
there
something
was-
cool to throw for the community.
Yeah, like it wasn't meant to be like a big one, but like the reception that we got for it for the people that came was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was, I reckon that was our most unplanned one. And dude, we're like carrying a generator down like the smallest bush path. That was the funniest thing.
we didn't account for
We
that.
did not
no,
account
yeah.
for anything. That was that event we went. We thought we looked at the place. We're like, okay, this is what we need. We've done events. We know what we're doing. Did not even equate for how hard that was going to be to try and pull off for like the smallest of the 3 events as well.
Yeah.
That was the smallest one. Like carrying a generator down. We built a stage over like a little pond. Like that was so funny. But yeah, that was a cool little one.
Yeah, that's mad. And it's a good time of year to do it too, because everyone's like in a fucking cheery
It was-
mood.
yeah,
and,
Christmas
like,
Eve, and then everyone went. Everyone obviously goes to the Ori and everything like that. So it was like a pre for that, which was really really cool. So
Yeah. Was it like an afternoon? Like
yeah, we did started at like 4, didn't we?
Yeah, it went
Yeah.
into like the sunset.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
by the time finished that, everyone's rearing to go to the Ori. So it was
Yeah,
it was
it
good
was really
fun.
good. Yeah, it was really really good. But it was just good to bring some people together before they go out and enjoy Christmas and
yeah.
everything. It was a good way to end off the year because we came FKD. We announced it April last year, like that we're officially a thing, and then we did the event in September, didn't we? The first one on the House of Flame one was in September. And then that was like so this was like we had a really good run back end of last year after we announced everything. So we're like, hey, we'll just give our
So On the House Volume 1 was September.
September last year.
And then you had the Halloween like early November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And then-
yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
2nd
yeah,
of
2nd of
November.
November. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but we didn't
You
start
needed
planning.
this little break.
Yeah, we needed a little break
Yeah.
because we wanted to come
That's
back.
like a lot. At fucking
Yeah,
very
we wanted
It was
to,
a little bit.
and mind you, we're still both working full time and
Yeah.
everything else. Like
Yeah.
we've done, I think we don't give ourselves enough credit sometimes for what we've been able to achieve with the little resources and the little time we have all off just the back. And I do not mean this to sound over confident or anything, or just us having passion. Do you know what I mean? It was just us wanting to do it.
But 100%.
Yeah.
If you have passion for something, it's crazy how much time you can find.
Yeah.
Like
It's true.
we are
honestly-
in no way the best at doing what we do. We are in no way, shape, or form 100. Like we don't know the ins and outs of everything. We just want it so badly, and I think it's just why it's been able to happen.
Yeah.
It's been really cool.
It's the same with like me with this. Like, I put a lot of fucking time into this. And the editing and then the making cuts and putting out the reels and blah 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 blah. And it's like I work full time in that. It's like if I didn't genuinely love this, I wouldn't fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because fuck that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But I genuinely I fully believe in this vision that I have for this, and I feel like when you have that drive, like that passion, and it feels like that natural, it's a natural pull, like for you. Do you know what I mean? Like I guess like it'd be the same with you guys with music and with what you're doing with the events with FKD. But yeah, for me, it's like it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like hard. You know what I mean? Because it's like I fucking genuinely love it.
yeah,
Like
100%.
sometimes it does my head in trying to organize like people to fucking.
But that's why you like it.
Because I usually film 2 at once, so it's like it's finding people to come in on the same day and
Yeah.
make it work. That does my fucking head in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, why can't schedules just match up?
Yeah.
But obviously that's all part of it.
100%.
But yeah, like in terms of like getting home from work and being tired and that, but like if I've got to fucking edit a podcast and put it out and I'll do it. Like,
Yeah,
of course,
100%.
and I enjoy doing it. So, but yeah, I'm also just looking at my lights, by the way, and I feel like I usually have it more red. So if it looks a bit different on camera, everyone, and it's a bit more pink, is that pink to you guys, or am I just fucking
No, it's
colourblind?
red. Oh, it looks red to me. I don't know.
Fuck, maybe I'm tripping. I probably haven't had enough sleep over this.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
weekend.
yeah. Having enough sleep, you've been watching footy. But yeah, no, I think we've achieved a lot, and we've just setting ourselves, and like in saying we've achieved a lot, I think it's made us, because like we're no way near qualified. Not what I mean qualified, like I said before, we don't know the ins and outs of everything. We create so much stress for ourselves on this, and we've had so many ups and downs, and like we've trialed so many things that haven't worked. We've failed so many times, and that's been the most enjoyable part. I believe. It's been like the amount of times we've been like, how are we going to fix this? Or how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
So many times. And we get on stage after, busting ourselves trying to get everything done. And then we're like, so many stuff, we're stressed until we get on that stage and we look at each other and we're like, dude, we're all stressing about nothing. Okay. We've had that moment a couple times.
Oh, a few. I mean, for our first on the house, like we were fighting before.
Yeah, we had a fight.
We were fighting before I went on stage.
Yeah, we were literally.
We sort of just like give each other some space.
Yeah.
Like it's stressful. We know it's stressful.
100%.
But you know what? Even just throwing a fucking house party, you get like that.
Oh,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I remember when I threw a party at the end of year 10, just before I started year 11. My parents went on a cruise. They didn't know about it. It's fucked up.
Well,
But it started the whole like. That actually was when I started getting called MattyG. Like that's changed my life. It literally changed my life. This party.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
Like I full like left my friend group because fuck those cunts. And then I like got a whole new friend group from that. And but yeah, what was I gonna say about that? What were we talking about?
we're talking about we had a fight before it. We had a fight before our first time.
The stress leading up to that is I was gonna say like I fucking fought with my brother and everything.
Yeah.
And like I get it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's so much to organize. There's so much to do. There's so much like people are like relying on you.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
produce this fucking event
Yeah.
for them.
I think what makes it with us is like we can have those fights, but nothing's gonna break us because the only reason we'd say is because our end goal is still the same. Like, but we just have both. Sometimes we've got different views of how it's gonna get there. So it's not that we have different things. Like we want different things. We want the same thing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
We just have different ways of going about it. So like,
It's actually a really good way to put it because we just think.
yeah, we just think differently, which is why I
Yeah.
think we're so good together because
Yeah.
some of the stuff we have done, like the music we have made, has been like even some of our old stuff that's never going to come out. The way that came about was I had this idea, he had this idea. We both saw the end goal. I wanted to do it this way, he wanted to do it this way. So we just both did it, and it was like that's the best thing about it. We can have so many. We have as well. We've had so many arguments. We've had so many like, oh, what the hell? I'm thinking, what is he doing? He's thinking, what am I doing? But nothing's going to break us because we're so strong in that fact that we know that it's the end goal.
Yeah.
And it's just,
And you can use those differences in like for your benefit anyway.
yeah.
You know
Well, we
what I mean?
do, we do,
'Cause, like,
we do. And I
yeah,
think
I'm
it's
sure
the
you
best.
can meet in the middle like for most things.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like it's actually helped us so much. Do you know what I mean? Like some of the smallest things, like trying to get the portaloos that was one of the fights.
Oh
It was
my
hilarious.
God.
Eli ordered, smart man, by the way. He's so much more switched on than I am. Was like, okay, well, we're going to need to get them there. So they're going to need to come with a trailer, right? He's thinking as anyone would, I've got a ute. I'd be able to tow a trailer, right? I forgot that like 6 months prior, we took the tow bar off my car. So like he's ordered this thing, done a great job to his credit, and then I've just completely not even realizing, stuffed it up by not having. He goes, "Well, dude, you got a ute. I thought you would." And I'm like, "Oh." But the thing is that when we have these arguments, he goes real quiet. I'm a million miles an hour speaking.
Yeah.
And once we both, and nine times out of 10, I just need to shut up, and it's going to be solved. But it's that funny thing is we're so different on that. When there's a problem, he becomes the thinker, and I become the just rattle off a million ideas.
Yeah.
And then, but it always gets resolved. It always gets resolved. And that's what I love. I love that
Because you're
about him.
fucking ADHD. Bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it is true. Yeah. But that's what I love about him, right? That's what I love about him is he's got such a...
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying. My brain's like...
Dude, I
and
would
then I
not-
have to have people to be like, bro,
Yeah,
chill, think logically, cunt.
100%.
We can sort this out.
But he goes quiet. And when he goes quiet, I need to not... Like, I get stressed because I'm thinking, oh, no, he's
Yeah.
annoyed. But he's just in this thinking stage and always pulls it off.
Yeah.
Credit to him, man, honestly.
Did those lights just
Yeah, I
turn
think
on?
so.
How the fuck did that happen? oh, thanks.
There we go. But yeah, no, I think that's what makes us such a strong duo is our differences.
Yeah, and the fact that it obviously hasn't broken you either. Like, I feel like
I don't
arguments
think
are good sometimes.
I don't think it
Yeah.
ever would. I see myself personally like not
Yeah.
when I started out music, I never thought I'd be working with Eli. But when I look back on my life, I was only ever meant to work with Eli.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity. I can call this guy my brother, and my business partner. No, it's true, man. No,
we're
it's true.
married or something.
No,
yeah.
no,
No, it's beautiful. No,
Getting
it's
fucked up over
because-
here, boys.
No, it's because like when I look back, dude, we have this same. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Like I could have worked with anyone. I've known so many people in music. I've got so many friends in
But
music.
you have had like such a similar life.
That's what I mean.
Experience,
You know what I mean? Like
even though you're like 2 years
yeah,
apart.
yeah. Like I look back and it was always.
Like imagine if you never became best mates with his brother either.
Yeah.
No,
I mean?
seriously.
Imagine if you went
It's like
to
all
a
these
different
little
primary
things.
school, man. Or imagine if you started a year later.
I do
Or a
believe
year earlier.
everything. Like
Well,
everything, fate does play such a fucking part in
Yeah.
so much of our
100%.
lives. Like, obviously, I think hard work and like dedication and like personal like drive obviously comes into play. But I feel like this positions you're put in and the people you meet, 100% happens for a reason.
100%. Yeah, it was meant to be for sure.
Yeah.
Meant to be for sure. You're meant to follow me in drums and goalkeeping.
He's always got this big brother complex as
Yeah.
well.
Dude, I was the drummer first.
I feel like he'll always have that too.
Yeah, whatever.
it's just, it's cool.
I'll
man.
let him have it. I'll let him have it.
It's got to be our son.
It's good for you. It's good.
Yeah, it's good for me. It's giving me like, a little bit of confidence. But no, it's cool. We got a good us too for sure. We're blessed. As much as we've worked really hard, there's been some really good people along the way that have helped us get to where we are, and I know we're both extremely grateful for those people and stuff like that.
Yeah. Fucking oath. And it's good you remember that too, because
Of course.
yeah, that's such an important part of like success. I feel is remembering who was like helped you
100%.
and giving back. Yeah, I'm big on that.
Yeah,
I'm real big on that.
100%.
But yeah, the next event. Do you know where it's going to be at? Oh, you said? Did you already say?
It's gonna be here.
Right here.
It's gonna be right here.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And we'll run it back at the 2-7 project
All
again.
right.
Yeah,
Hell
there
yeah.
you go.
The first one was absolutely way better than we thought it could. Way better than we thought it could be. It's only right that we rerun it back
Yeah.
in the
fuck
exact
yeah.
same spot, just bigger. You know what I mean? So it's going to be here. If you were at the first one, we know that 99% of people absolutely loved it. You're going to be blown away with this one for sure. And there'll be we've been doing a lot of hard work to get this one to be even bigger and better.
There's no holes in fucking walls this time.
Yeah.
I hope Nick isn't listening. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry to the owners. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, everyone. That was that. Hey, the event was that good. We put a hole in the wall, man. What does Freddie Mercury say? We're gonna punch a hole in the sky. Do you know what I mean? We punched a hole in the wall.
Oh yeah, they weren't happy about that.
I know. Do you know how, bro? Nick's been.
We
Nick's,
don't need you to tell us.
we don't. We know, bro. Nick's like been my older brother my entire life, and my whole thing was I said to Eli, how many times I said like I just don't want to let Nick down, do anything wrong. First thing that happened was the main goal was to not let Nick down. I let him down by that. Yeah,
Shit happens, fuck guys.
but
Shit
no,
fucking happens.
100%. Yeah.
I'm sure the next event will run completely smoothly.
Yes.
No, it will.
Yeah, 100%.
It'll be
100%,
fine.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Don't worry, my house got fucking trashed, cunt, at my party.
That's
Fucking
it's
cunts
part of it.
Cunts fucking threw glass into the pool where I was getting it out of
my-
the pool the next day.
That's horrible. Yeah,
Like
glass in the
hungover as
pool.
fuck in the heat of January. And I'm like fucking scooping out glass. I kept cutting my hand on
Oh,
fucking
no.
broken bottles. Like, oh, the worst.
Yeah.
And then we had these huge rocks in like the garden, like the pool garden.
Yeah.
Some cunt fucking picked them up and threw them in the deep end. So I'm like, the shallow end would have been all right because you can kind of lift it in water and then just fucking put it
It's
over.
like Project X, you remember when the car ended up in the water?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Lucky that didn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, the cubby house, my cubby house got fucked up. Like
Oh,
we had
no.
this like cubby house thing. Obviously we didn't fucking use it, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was a dead giveaway to my parents when they got back, and it's fucking got holes all fucking
Yeah.
punched out of the walls.
No one's
and
touched the
shit.
cubby house in like 15 years
Yeah.
and it's like all broken. Yeah, for sure.
And then I didn't have my license at the time, so I'm on acreage, so I just took all the rubbish down the back in bin bags and just like buried it.
Oh, no.
And then my dad found it 2 years later when he was finding like dead trees to cut down firewood. And he's
Oh,
like,
no.
comes up and he's like, what the fuck? They knew I had the party at the time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
As soon as they got home, they knew. I didn't clean fucking well enough. But yeah.
Lesson learnt.
Lesson learned. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Good memories, but
100%, 100%. But yeah, nah. As much as there's obviously we just keep learning from our not mistakes, but like we just keep learning from things. We're never going to get it right, and that's the best part about it, I reckon.
yeah.
If we got everything right, then we'd be in trouble because then there's
Oh.
no room for improvement.
But it's like anything. Like look at most music festivals when they first started out. They were getting so much shit wrong before
Yeah.
they became these big fucking things. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, yeah. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like like how Splendor started, but like it was tiny when it first started, and like they had a lot of fucking issues. It wasn't in the right place, and then you know they grew into, obviously it's sad what's happened now, but they grew into like the biggest festival in the fucking
Yeah.
you know. So there's no reason that you know you guys can't just keep growing and growing and growing.
Well, touch wood, that never happens to us. FKD is here to stay.
Yeah, that is it's a weird thing that's happening with Australia right now with festivals.
It's a little bit concerning.
It's
like
super concerning.
looking at it.
But you even look at like Triple J Hottest 100 now, and it's got like more and more international artists like winning and stuff. Like that sort of Aussie, I don't know. It's just shifting away from it. But you know what is still like going really strong is like electronic festivals.
That's why I think if I've got to say anything, I think that's why these
people are
festivals
looking
dying
more
off.
for like a Bushtorf sort of vibe now.
Well,
you
no,
know?
I just think those artists haven't been the artists that they're getting have been what everyone's been listening to. Obviously, some of the artists they're getting are awesome, but I think people in Australia's with things like Lost Paradise and things like Boiler Room, those are the events that are on the forefront of people's minds now, and what everyone's listening to. And those festivals, like the R&B ones, the people are wanting to go to those ones at this time. So I'm not saying that they're getting the wrong artists. It's not. They're almost clashing with the events that everyone's listening to.
Yeah.
So I think that's why.
I think that plays a huge part, and I think a lot of it is to do with culture as well.
Yeah.
And I think Bushtorfs just have like, could you call it Lost Paradise? Like it's Bushtorf on a large fucking scale.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think
it's still that vibe.
Yeah. Well, I
and
think that's what that electronic music brings with it. That culture,
like the doof stick vibe. Like
it's very fun,
creative. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like you go to like the first year I went to Splendor, fucking amazing, right? As like the years went on, like towards the end, it just felt very like influency, like very, I don't know. They had like a lot of VIP areas like in there that were like sponsored, and they had just fucking, and it's like this is not what it was about to begin with.
100%.
Whereas you go to LP and it's like, fuck, bro, like everyone's the same.
Everyone,
like,
that's the thing, and I'm sure you
know?
experienced as well. Every event like that, I've been to a lot of concerts. Like we went to Travis Scott, I've been to heaps of different people over the years, and Lost Paradise and like Boiler Room are like the only two events I've ever been to where like you walk past someone to try and get through, and they're like, yeah, no worries, man. Whereas you go to other ones and like, no, I'm not letting you in.
Yeah,
it's
especially a Sydney
one
day
dude,
festival.
everyone was so nice at Lost Paradise. Hey, like every single person.
I met the best fucking people at Lost Paradise.
Yeah.
That was my favorite festival I've ever been to.
Yeah,
I've
dude,
only
it
been
was-
once.
Yeah,
it
we
just
went-
hasn't matched up at the end of the year for me to go again. Like I've had other shit on or whatever.
Mm.
But the year I went, when did I go? The year
Did you go 2023 into 2024? Because we went
no, maybe 2022 into 2023.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Maybe.
we went the one that finished at the start of this year. So we went 2024 into 2025.
It was
most-
2022 into 2023. I
Yeah,
went.
so we went the most recent one. And that was awesome. That was so good.
They can just get like, the thing is people want value for money. So like they're getting amazing lineups, like amazing, the biggest DJs in the world.
Oh yeah.
And Listen Out's getting like Skepta's the biggest one. Like, and
yeah, if
Skepta's
they even come and then they
amazing.
cancel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's
Skepta would do his own show that people will go, oh, I don't really want to go see everyone else. I want to see Skepta though, so I want to go.
That's
just
what I was
to his
going to
own
say
solo
too.
show,
That's
you
been
know
a
what I mean?
big thing as well. Is people would rather spend their money on the artist they really want to see in their own concert. Like
Exactly.
tours are very like every artist is coming out to Australia
Yeah.
now. Just saw
100%.
Dua Lipa on Friday, by the way. She fucking
That looked awesome. That looked awesome.
I would have been gas.
That would-
yeah,
that'd
she's
been
actually so good.
She's a
she
great
brought
performer.
out fucking Kevin Parker from Tame Impala.
sick.
That's,
they did-
oh, dude, that's cool.
So
as.
she headlined Glastonbury last
Yeah.
year, and she brought out Kevin Parker, and they did The Less I Know, The Better.
Oh,
and,
what on fire. I'm a big Tame Impala guy.
And then when she was saying like who she was like teasing like who she's bringing out, I'm like, if it's Kevin Parker, like if she's gonna recreate like her Glastonbury like duet with him. And then he came out and they did Less I Know The Better together. And I'm like,
That's crazy, man.
fuck.
That's
And no
crazy.
one was even like that gassed because it was like I guess it's completely different
There for duo,
demographics.
yeah.
But yeah, it was fucking mad. Yeah, really good concert. She puts on a show.
100%.
Yeah, she's
100%.
easy to look at too. Who's like some of your like inspirations when it comes to creating music for you guys?
Ooh. I think it's so broad, eh? I think it changes over time. Would you say it changes over time?
It definitely did from when we started.
Yeah, from when
I
we started, yeah. I think my first band it's funny, first two bands I ever really like was 100% like, and I'm still a big fan of them today, is Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. So I'll always say they're some of my biggest influences. Not necessarily their music, but the way how they had such a fresh sound, and they've all like listen to Pink Floyd probably more than Led Zeppelin, but their albums from the time period of when they were making music and when they were like, that time, the way they were able to make it sound so futuristic, I think that definitely was a big inspiration of me and understanding how big music could be, right? So I think those two definitely, but I'd say it's definitely got to be, I love Marlon Hofstadt, 100%. I'm big on Marlon Hofstadt. Still love Travis Scott, Tame Impala as well. Like the music that we make, I feel doesn't necessarily come from the people that we've been influenced by.
Yeah.
But like those have influenced us to make our own. Like I think, I don't know how to word that. They're not making the same music as us. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
But they've played a massive part. What about you?
But yeah, and I guess you don't have to like make the same genre to be influenced by
No,
someone.
no,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I have a mate of mine, like he makes completely different music to like a person he's very inspired by, but he's super inspired by Frank Ocean.
Yep.
But like his music doesn't sound the same.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah.
like he likes it that like Frank's heaps experimental with
Yep.
like his shit and like that sort of thing.
Mm.
But yeah, I think you can be definitely influenced by
100%.
people who aren't necessarily doing the same fucking thing as you.
What about you? What do you reckon? Who was like yours?
I reckon now more like more grab.
Yeah.
I think really respect his production level.
Yeah.
I think he just every sound has its own spot.
Yeah.
And I think he really he nails it.
100%.
And then like when I said I used to grow up like parents listening to music all in the house, like it was always like Jeff Buckley or like Empire of the Sun. Like fun. Jeff Buckley's not like so much fun,
No,
but
good
like
sounding
the
music.
good sounding music, and now probably like Frank Ocean as well, Travis, McGee and Dijon as well.
Oh yeah.
They're
Gun.
they're artists and musicians that I listen to and I just appreciate. I don't need to like recreate their sound. I
Yeah.
just, take little parts maybe from here and there and put into my own stuff.
and inspired by them doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say like we're massive, fans and like of people stuff like, like people like Silver Bumper, Salute, all those kind of people. We definitely like Kedema, of course, Tommy Holohan.
Yeah.
Those are like what we are now type of thing. But like, definitely like I'd say like production wise, I was a big fan of like Timbaland, Teddy Walton as well. And then obviously you got your classics like Murder Beats and stuff like that. Like those
Nick
people,
Mira.
Yeah, Nick Mira, far out. Nick Mira did a lot for I think every producer
Yeah.
out there, and regardless of what you make. Yeah, he was definitely. Yeah. But I think we still got obviously he said like people like Jeff Buckley and everything. We got such a broad view. It's hard to pinpoint on the one, which is I think is the best because you've got so much potential to be able to create whatever from every and you've got so many different avenues you could be inspired by. You know what I mean? Which is really, really good. Yeah.
100%.
Mm.
Like I would be the same with this. Like obviously Joe Rogan is a massive influence of mine in terms of like
Podcasting. Yeah.
Yeah, just in terms of like how he does it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like it that it's just simple. It's not like
Overproduced.
yeah. Like I also like listening to shows that have a certain like formula to them as well. It's more like a show than like a conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like Tim Dillon is a fucking great example of that. Like, funniest fucking cunt. Like honestly, his humor just like I don't know. Not everyone gets it, but I just get that. Like. It's just very out there, like dark humor, and I love that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
he's very very funny.
Yeah.
In terms of like Joe Rogan having a guest on each time, like that was a big thing for
Mm,
me. And talking to people he's interested in, like that's sort of the concept that I sort of run with as well. I don't really have people on that I'm like not interested to talk to because I don't want to waste my fucking time talking to them.
No.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thanks. That means a lot.
Yeah.
We're doing something right.
As soon as I met Cam, before Dom Dollar, fucking
We met on a party bus before Dom Dollar.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
That's when we met. Yeah, that's
and
funny.
like pretty much straight away, I was like, you got to come on.
Yeah.
Oh, like last
'cause
year,
I
Dom
knew-
Dollar.
Dude, literally.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
because I knew
nice,
he
nice.
fucked with my shit already.
Yeah, like I followed the page and
And-
everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna fucking ask this cunt to come on.
Yeah.
100%.
Got to do it with my bro for sure. Yeah, 100%.
No, it worked out well.
Mm.
Now obviously, like, whatever. time is what it is.
100%,
Time is what it is.
Yeah.
But I do want to get like sort of your take on like anyone else who's out there that wants to, you know, start creating music or whatever it may be, even fucking, you know, whatever it is their passion is. What would be your advice to them?
I reckon my biggest thing personally, which has helped me through so much, has been to accept everything and expect nothing. And that's just literally take everything as it comes. But when you have an expectation, I think I've said this to you so many times.
So many.
That's just my little motto, because I've always struggled with, what does this person think? I've always had that, you know, anxieties around certain things, and I've struggled with that quite a bit. But I think that was the biggest thing that allowed me to just push through those roadblocks and the unknown of, should I do this or what? I want to start this. Is just literally accept everything, expect nothing. And what I mean by that is accept every opportunity that comes your way, expect nothing from it, because when you expect something and it's unfulfilled, that leads to disappointment. And when you're disappointed, like I put it to like this, right? Let's say you're turning 16 and you really, really wanted a car for your birthday, right? And you wanted this awesome, really, let's say it's a Subaru car. You really wanted this Subaru, and you really wanted your parents have been saving up for you, and they get you like, you know, not a Subaru, a Holden Commodore, something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that car, but it wasn't exactly what you wanted. I think when you'd be looking at that, you'd be disappointed, but you'd forget that you've still got a car, which is something that so many people don't have or didn't get. You know, that opportunity there, you still can get from A to B. You can still do everything. It may not be exactly what you want, but it's still something that some people don't ever get to experience or have. So I think maybe that's not the best analogy to explain it, but that's how I feel with myself. Is if you accept just whatever it is, you're still going to be able to, you know, do the things you want to do, all that kind of stuff. Whereas if you're disappointed by it, you forget that you still can achieve those things. So yeah, accept everything and expect nothing. That's for me for sure. What about you?
Oh man, you said that to me so many times.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need to hear it. Otherwise,
I still don't think I can explain it the best, but that's what I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I hope
you explained it well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good advice. I think when you have expectations placed on anything, you know, it only leads to disappointment. You know, it's like me expecting the Tigers to make the 8 every year.
Yeah.
You know,
I just think
I end
disappointment.
up wanting to fucking kill myself every September.
No, I just think like being disappointed clouds the opportunity that's still there, that's still presented for you. So if you get disappointed about things,
100%.
yeah. What about you? What do you reckon?
I think it's just a big fan of like being authentic to yourself. If you've got a belief and you've got a drive for something, and whatever it is, like it doesn't really matter, but just stay true to, you know, your morals and surround yourself with those people who also believe in that. I'm lucky I got a good group of mates, and Cam as well. And
well, that's it. You've got each other's support. It's just massive. You know what I mean? Like you probably never feel like, you know, alone in any of this shit.
Yeah.
So that's a big, a support system is fucking very important for life.
100%.
Like a really good support network around you, to obviously give and receive that. Because a lot of people don't have that, and I feel like that's I feel like that's such an important part to success as well.
Yeah.
Like success is a lot to do with who you surround yourself with.
100%.
And yeah, what's that saying? It's like hang out with 4 millionaires and you'll be the 5th one.
Yeah,
Something.
I think
it is true, but
yeah,
you know,
we've got such good friend groups ourselves, just from like our school groups, but we've also got so many good people that have been around us in the industry that we are in, that also, you know, have played such a big part in helping us. And I genuinely think having those right people around you is just, it gives you so much. Anytime you're doubting, like I know that anytime I've doubted something, he's been able to lift me up. Anytime he's doubted something, I've been able to lift him up and help. And the same with our friend groups as well. Like our friends are so supportive on what we do. The friends that have no interest in, or not no interest in music, but they don't do music themselves. And then we've got our friends that are in the industry and they're just as supportive. And it's just having those people around you. Like what's better than, I say, like, yeah, you go out to a nice restaurant and eat dinner by yourself, but it's more fun doing it with your friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like, that's why I think having a person like Eli beside me as a duo, it makes, I mean, I could do FKD, he could do FKD by himself, right? But I think it wouldn't be as cool or we wouldn't enjoy it as much without that, you know, having that person there with you. You know what I mean? I think being at a big table and eating with a lot more people is way better than eating by yourself. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where
100%.
Yeah.
And to share that success.
I was going to sharing experiences with people you love and is way better than, I don't know, like if I was on this podcast by myself, you know, sharing with Cam, sharing the stage with Cam here at 2-7 on the house was by far the best thing you've
Yeah.
ever done. So
100%. Sharing the stage with Eli has been the best thing I've ever done, for sure.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. It's been
Yeah.
so good.
Well, thank you both very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's I'm really excited to fucking see where this
Yeah.
goes, because yeah, I feel like you've created a really fucking strong brand.
Appreciate it, man.
And
Thank you.
yeah, I think the next event's gonna fucking pop off. I'm keen to come.
Yeah,
I hope so.
100%.
Yeah, keen to be off my fucking
No,
Responsibly, of course.
Responsibly. But
Oh.
no. But
It's
no.
me saying it.
No, I'm joking. No, but we the next event we got a lot of big stuff on the way. Eli, you want to give the viewers
Yeah.
anything that's coming up very soon before the event? Anything like that?
Very soon. We're missing out on something.
We should probably
Yeah,
talk about this before
under the
coming on.
table.
Yeah, no. Well, we got some new music on the way ourselves as
Oh,
well.
of course.
We got some new music.
Yeah, we got a couple remixes we're working on and ready to get out, and also super excited about couple originals coming out. So
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
potential couple song EP will
Yep.
be coming away very soon.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, not only do we have the event on the way, we've got more of our own music. Our 365 edit's been doing crazy at the moment. Hopefully Charlie XCX saw that.
Yeah.
Is it where's it available? Just SoundCloud?
SoundCloud for the remixes, but our first original will be coming out soon on all platforms.
Yeah,
So,
perfect. Yeah.
Our first original as FKD. We've got plenty out there that we produce for other people, but yeah, our first one is FKD coming out on all
Do you know
platforms real soon.
what date it's coming out?
Before On the House.
Yeah, definitely before then.
For On the House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We I think we know, but we're going to keep that. We're
Yeah.
going to keep that for now.
Keep that hush hush.
Yeah.
No, that's fucking awesome. Anyone who wants to follow you guys so they can come to the event and that, the handle is just FKD Worldwide.
Yep.
On
At
Instagram.
FKD. Yep. Instagram. It's got our link tree in the bio as well for all the tickets, music. So you can find, you go to the Instagram page, click the link in the bio, you can find tickets, you can find our music, you can find everything you need to know about us. So yeah, that's at FKD Worldwide. That's us.
Fuck yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man.
And remember, guys, speak free with MattyG.